One of my followers tagged me in this very breaking news story, and it is a huge story. And I hope that it gains some legs because, considering the act in which this person did, even though many people probably would agree with what he did, it's actually out there and they need to push it out there even more. Because if this didn't come about, they would probably want to put this onto a black man. So in this picture, you see someone by the name of Branden Michael Wolfe. And you're probably wondering, Torian, who in the world is Branden Michael Wolfe? Well, do y'all remember when the Minneapolis precinct got burnt up? Just maybe a day or two after what was going on with George Floyd in the midst of heavy uprising? Well, look on your screen, you're looking at the guy who's responsible for burning down that precinct. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Branden Michael Wolfe. It says a St. Paul man was charged with arson after a Minneapolis police precinct was burnt down last month amid protests over the killing of George Floyd. Branden Michael Wolfe, age 23, and that is a aging 23, was charged with aiding and abetting arson at the Minneapolis Police Department's 3rd Precinct. U.S. Attorney Erica McDonald said Monday he is set to appear in court on Tuesday. Now, by the time this video goes up, he would have already appeared in court. In an interview with law enforcement, Wolfe admitted that he was inside the 3rd Precinct the night of the arson and pushed a wooden barrel into the fire, knowing that it would help keep the fire burning. On the night of May 28th, the precinct was overrun and heavily damaged due to vandalism and arson, according to allegations in the complaint. Investigators identified multiple separate fires had been started in the building. Wolfe was arrested after officers responded to a home improvement store in St. Paul after receiving a complaint that an individual later identified as Wolfe, who was wearing body armor and a law enforcement duty belt and carrying a baton, was trying to get into the store. Now, it seems to me, I could be wrong, I might be jumping the gun, but I wonder if he was law enforcement. Because a lot of people were speculating that they believe that a cop actually did this, because how was they able to get in. Now, of course, most of that precinct, if not all of them, was at the terrorist house guarding it, which means nobody was there at the precinct, or not, at least not that many, where anybody could have just went in there. Or was he dressed up as a cop so he could get in? Employees told officials Wolfe had been employed as a security guard at the store, but was fired earlier that day after referring to social media posts about stealing items at the precinct. Wolfe was wearing multiple items stolen from the 3rd Precinct at the time of his arrest. Well, there you go. He wasn't employed by then. He took those items. And they can almost get him on premeditation because they said that he posted up on social media that he planned to steal these items. Now, whether or not he planned to burn down the precinct, that's another story. Wolfe also admitted to taking property from the building and identified himself in multiple photographs depicting him in front of the precinct holding a police baton with smoke and flames visible in the background. Law enforcement later received additional items from the Minneapolis Police Department, including a riot helmet, 9mm pistol, magazine, and a police radio at Wolfe's apartment. Wolfe is the first person to be charged in connection with the 3rd Precinct building fire. The building is unoccupied and there is no timeline to repair it. Police Department spokesman John Elder told the Tribune. Well, they say he's the first person, which means they are believing that there are more out there. How much you want to bet they going to keep on looking until they see if they can find a black person attached to this? Especially since they want to believe so badly that a black person most likely did this because of the relationship that black people have had with the police for so long, for so many years, and considering that a terrorist was the one responsible for killing a black man. So they're probably going to keep on digging until they can find a black person to also attach to this. Even though there has been so many images and videos that have exposed the palm-colored looters out there destroying stuff and trying to frame it as if it was black people doing all of this. You heard what that Bride of Chucky lookalike said, and I'm talking about Linda Hogan, that all the looters were black, or what she said, Afro-American. Like, what century is she in? That's why I said, what decade is she in? Talking about some Afro-American. This ain't the 70s. But interesting bit of information right here. This is interesting news right here. And this needs to go viral. Like, they need to know that this is the person who was involved. Like, they said that he stole that uniform with the intent to do something. But like I said, whether or not he planned to engage and burn this precinct down, that's up in the air. But we shall see what comes from this. I might have to come and add some additional stuff in here. I'm not sure, depending on what his court appearance is looking like as far as Tuesday is concerned. Mind you, I'm recording this on Monday, and it's probably most likely going to be uploaded Wednesday.